Hello and happy January. I am so excited to be hanging out with you guys today. I feel as though so much of the content I've been putting out over the last couple weeks I had filmed prior to the new year. So this is actually, I think, the first, maybe the second time I'm actually speaking with you in the new year. And I'm thrilled and beyond inspired for all of the incredible content I have for you guys. All of January and February is completely mapped out, and it is fresh, new, innovative content that you've never seen here on my channel. And the video concepts, if I do say so with humility, are some of the best that you're going to see to feel excited and like that new year, new you vibe, but also in a really constructive and attainable way. So I figured I would pick up the camera today because we haven't just hung out via vlog style or day in the life. But today's video is gonna have a very special twist because even though it's a day in the life, I'm going to be sharing with you all of my favorite ways to upgrade your wellness routine for winter. So I've got everything in the Dutch oven and I'm making a delicious potato leek soup. I have shared this recipe on my channel before, but I will have everything listed for you in the description box down below. But this beautifully leads me into my first tip as to upgrading your wellness routine for the winter, and that is to eat warming foods. Now, I love a cold blended smoothie as much as the next girl. However, I will say I definitely feel more intuitive and in tune to eat warming foods during the cooler months. Today is actually the first day we've had sunshine in 11 days. In nearly 2 weeks, it has been dark, gray, and dreary, which has not been great for my mood and for my energy levels. But on days like that, I'm not craving bright blended smoothies all of the time. I definitely will drink them and consume them because it's just such an easy way to check the box and get those nutrients in. I find myself on those days definitely craving comfort food. And I feel like obviously as the season shifts, we intuitively crave more of these warming, comforting foods. And like a smoothie, these beautiful blended soups or any soup in general is a really great way to cram in a ton of nutrition because so I have potatoes in here, I have leeks in here, I have garlic in here, and then I'm getting ready to add in some frozen cauliflower and mushrooms. I'm going to saute all of that together, cook it with one of my favorite superfoods of all time, the Kettle and Fire bone broth. I do have a discount code for you guys. I will link in the description box down below. But bone broth is one of my favorite superfoods of all time. And then when you put that together with all of these beautiful phytonutrients, you have an extremely nutrient dense meal that is similar to a smoothie. So I am going to be blending this all together with an immersion blender. You could put it in a stand-up blender, or you can just make any soup and leave it as is. But I want you to think of it from that perspective. When we eat warming foods like soups and stews, it's definitely kind of like a secondary insurance policy, and it's a really great way to work with our body's natural intuition as we do crave some of these warmer foods in the cooler months. During the holiday season, a lot of our routines kind of get put on pause and fall to the wayside just because we're busy and we're traveling. I know even for myself, we were gone. We traveled to my parents' house and we were there for 6 days, I'm pretty sure. So during that time, yes, I did pack a ton of my supplements, but one thing that I think is really important in the winter season is that we revisit our supplement routine, because biologically everything is shifting. Our immune system is shifting. We're not getting as much vitamin D, which I'm going to get to, as we typically do in the summer months. So it's a really great idea to take a peek at your winter supplement routine to ensure that you're filling in all of those nutritional gaps to really support our immune system. And so vitamin D is obviously something that you hear a lot about in the winter months. We live in Michigan, and as I mentioned just a few minutes ago, we didn't see the sun for 11 days. That was extremely hard, and I was really cognizant of my vitamin D intake, obviously for a mood and hormonal perspective, because vitamin D is a hormonal precursor, so it's really important for us women and for everybody to pay really close attention to our vitamin D intake, especially in the winter months. And something that most people don't realize is that vitamin D actually gets activated by magnesium. So if you are magnesium deficient, or you're not taking magnesium, or you're somebody who drinks caffeine, experiences stress, has lack of sleep, you are most likely magnesium deficient. And if you're supplementing with vitamin D, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 international units of vitamin D, but you're not taking it with a magnesium, unfortunately, you're actually not activating the vitamin D and synthesizing it inside of your body. So it is really important, as we do pay closer attention to our vitamin D intake, that we also are, of course, pairing that with a high quality magnesium. If you've watched any of my videos over the last year and a half, then you will not be surprised to know my love for the BioOptimizer's magnesium breakthrough. I will put some of the comments here on the screen from the community, but this magnesium has not only been life-changing for me, but for so many of you. I got the Aura Ring a year ago, and I was on the quest to get the best sleep of my life. And during that time, I had started using the magnesium from BioOptimizers. And holy smokes, did it change my sleep score dramatically. I increased my deep restful sleep and my REM sleep by 30% by changing nothing other than including this magnesium. So if you could get 30% more effective and efficient sleep just by adding in this magnesium, I'm sure that you would realize that your mood would definitely be positively impacted by that more restful sleep. And in conjunction with that, if you take one in the morning with your vitamin D, you would absorb all of those IUs of vitamin D. You would actually get that, and you would be able to process it cellularly within your body. So I love to take 1 to 2 of the BioOptimizers in the morning, and then I always take 2 of the BioOptimizers Magnesium Breakthrough before bed. When we were coming back from the holidays, as I mentioned, we were away at my parents' house. When we came back, I was sleeping terribly. I could not get into deep restful sleep. I think it was just a mix of like coming off of an extremely busy season in December, getting back home and being like, whoa, okay, what do we do now? I just could not get into deep restful sleep. And I thought, oh, I also haven't taken my magnesium in 5 days. So I took 3 of them before bed. And sure enough, I went from getting 1.5 to maybe 2 hours of deep restful sleep to getting 2 to 2.5, sometimes nearly 3 hours of deep, restful sleep. Some nights it was nearly 40 to 50% of my sleep was either REM or deep sleep. Now that is an unbelievable sleep score. I was getting like 97s and 98s. And so I felt extremely better and more refreshed. And I always take my magnesium in the morning when I'm taking my vitamin D. This is why it's so important that we take a deeper look at the routines and habits that we're creating to ensure that they're still representative of our needs and what goals we're trying to accomplish. So if you're still on the same supplement routine that you were doing and taking in the summer and the fall, it might be a good time to reevaluate and even move and shift things around. I'm not necessarily saying that you need to add and include things unless you're not on the BioOptimizer's magnesium, but I feel like most of you are at this point. But I'm not even necessarily saying that you need to add in more things, but maybe just shift things around. Ensure that you are taking one of your magnesium breakthroughs in the morning with your vitamin D, and then you're maybe taking the second and third dose in the evening before bed with a lemon balm tea, which is my absolute favorite part of my day. It's like my favorite routine in the world is unwinding with that lemon balm tea and 2 of the magnesium breakthroughs. I will have my discount code here on the screen. It's Jessica10 to save 10%. I will also have the link for you in the description box down below, as well as the first pinned comment. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and get some oils into the diffuser. It's just like a really great way for me to reset the house prior to getting Sawyer from school. Go alongside with this blended soup, I am going to be putting together a really nourishing and delicious salad. And I do eat this cold. You can also have this room temperature. You can add some protein to this, like chicken or salmon, anything that you prefer. But I'm going to go ahead and get the salad started. And while all of that combines, we will then blend up the soup. I will have everything for you guys in the description box down below for recipes. For me, an essential part of my winter wellness routine is my evening routine. And to be honest with you, my evening routine is an essential part of my wellness routine, regardless of the season, but especially in the winter. So I have just made, of course, a delicious cup of lemon balm tea. I'm getting ready to take, which we spoke about earlier, 2 of my BioOptimizer's magnesium breakthroughs. So you can find this combination in my evening routine regardless of the season, but I definitely find it more nourishing and comforting in the winter months, that is for sure. And then I'm getting ready to do a beautiful mask from the team at Joyous Health. They just sent this over. It's their super hydrating mask, and I have been loving it. They sent it to me a few weeks ago, or at least I checked my PO box a few weeks ago, and I love it because it's just powdered. And then I just simply pour a little bit of it into my hand. I mix it with water and I apply it to my face, and then I let it sit for a little bit. I hop into the shower. I do a little bit of dry brushing, and then I come out and I put on all of my favorite nourishing winter lotions. I do have them all like decanted in my modern jar, which I kind of need to fill it up a little bit. I like to keep it at the top just for aesthetic purposes, but I do like to put on like a thick, nourishing body lotion. I will link some of my favorites for you guys in the description box down below. But between the dry brushing, the tea, the magnesium, the mask, and then the thick, nourishing body lotion and oil, I definitely feel like it helps me feel more rejuvenated and honestly just comforted in my wellness routine during these cooler winter months. So if you're looking for ways to upgrade your wellness routine for the winter, I will have all of the products that I mentioned and I shared in today's video. Likewise, all of the recipes that I shared, all linked for you in the description box down below. And then of course, I would highly encourage you, if you haven't yet tried the BioOptimizer's Magnesium Breakthrough, I would highly encourage you to do so. I will have this linked for you with my discount code Jessica10. I recommend getting the 3-month supply because you will not look back once you try this product. You will be absolutely hooked on it. So I will link that for you in the description box down below, as well as the first pinned comment, and you can use the code Jessica10 for 10% off. And if you like today's video, you can let me know by giving it a big thumbs up. And now the subscribe button is right over here on the screen. Give that a click, that way you don't miss a single video, and I hope to see you back here next Thursday.